And let's shift our focus to the ongoing war in Ukraine. Let's quickly tell you what Vladimir Putin has said in the latest. He's called the liberation of Mariupol, the port city of Mariupol, a success. Let me quickly go across to Shavan Sen joining us from Ukraine, getting us more details on the latest situation there. Vladimir Putin says, Russia has concluded the successful mission in Mariupol. It says that they've ordered specifically not to take over the steel plant there, wherein certain Ukrainian soldiers are still holed up. Shavan, what can you tell us about the exact situation on ground?
Well, in fact, there's no denial about the fact that the situation in Mariupol remains to be extremely dire. And in fact, yesterday when we spoke to the advisor to the Minister of Defense here in Ukraine, he categorically admitted that the situation is very difficult for the Ukrainian forces. And that's the reason why they're making these last-minute pleas once again to the Western nations to pitch in, especially when it comes to heavy weaponry, the equipment that is basically needed to defend Mariupol. Having said that, whether at all the city of Mariupol has fallen into the hands of the Russians, that's still not very clear. Russians have made multiple claims in the past which have turned out to be completely false, especially when it comes to the psyops that the Russians have basically indulged in. But as far as the Ukrainians are concerned, remember, on the ground they are still giving a very tough fight. On the eastern side, where the war has basically now got into, the focus right now is that the Russians who are basically advancing from the Donbas region to a place called Kramatorsk, that's where there have been persistent rocket attacks that are taking place, and the focus right now is to basically defend those very areas, the eastern side, where now latest intelligence inputs suggest that Russia is trying to create a land corridor starting from within the Russian territory through the eastern side of Ukraine, the Donbas region, into Crimea. But the biggest, I would say, the impediment here is that Mariupol entirely needs to be taken into the Russian control for that land corridor to be completed. Not to forget, right now what Russia is essentially trying to do, Kritswin, is to try and put out some sort of an imagery that they have won a strategic win before the May victory day. That's on the 9th of May. Before that, perhaps what they would essentially want to do is project that they have basically got control of the eastern side of Ukraine and ensuring that Ukraine is cut off from the Sea of Azov, as well as, for that matter, the Black Sea. That's where the entire concentration is. If you look at the other parts of Ukraine, that appears to be limping back to normalcy, especially in Kiev and the Kiev Oblast region from where we are broadcasting right now. Yes, there are a lot of reports now coming in of the war crimes allegedly committed by the Russian troops after they retreated by the end of March, and something that Ukraine is now trying to pick this up and bring it before the World Forum, that they want Russia to pay the price for the war crimes that have been committed. And President Zelensky, on the other hand, is working towards a situation where they're saying negotiations can only take place if the Russians speak about Mariupol. Just about a few hours ago, President's advisor Podolak also spoke about the fact that Ukraine is now willing to sit across the table with Russia and talk about what's going to happen in Mariupol, whether this is going to happen before the Easter, because a lot of talks were going on whether there could be perhaps some sort of a ceasefire as Easter is coming in. So hopefully during this period, they're hoping that the kind of aerial assault that's going on in the eastern side, that reduces to a substantial degree.
Absolutely. And Shavan, the fact also remains that without the capture of the steel plant, Russia cannot claim complete victory over Mariupol. But let's see what the official confirmation comes out in hours to go. But for the moment, as we keep our focus on the strategic and symbolic importance of the city's capture, let's quickly put out more videos we're tracking from the war zone.